The Conway Regional Health System pregame show continues. It is our roundtable discussion now before Conway plays host to Pulaski Academy. It's a new team coming to John McConnell Stadium. We've only played them once before. We'll play them tonight. But let's talk about a team that we played a bunch, and that's Little Rock Central. Last week, going down to Quigley Stadium, guys, and getting the victory. All things considered, I felt like it was a pretty good night to be a Wampus Cat.
It's a great night for your Wampus Cats. It was not a great night if you're a Central Tiger fan, which I know several, and they let me know about it all week that they were not a fan of it. But I don't know if I've ever seen such a big difference between what I thought was going to happen and what happened. Like I thought we would win. I didn't have any doubts about that, but I just didn't expect it to be quite as one-sided as it turned out to be. I mean, it was 44-0 in the first half, and it was just a wild night. I think the defense set the tone early, a 3-and-out, and then the punt return, which they didn't even have somebody back to receive it. Tay Lockett just ran back there and happened to catch it off the bounce. And then your offense was so methodical and really didn't have much trouble all night. I think we punted the ball maybe twice. But it was short fields too. I mean, your defense just kept getting you the ball back for the offense in enemy territory the whole night. And I was just proud of Conway coming out with not having that look ahead moment, because starting tonight and the next 3 games, it's tough. And they just went out to Central and set the tone early, and they never let the tone shift. And I was impressed with that kind of performance.
Yeah, I thought that, to Levi's point, from the onset. It was 3-and-out, and then it was on. So you've got to like to see that. Sometimes we do let down, and we play down to teams. That's been kind of a history with Conway. There was none of that. Defense played outstanding. I thought probably their best game of the season. We gave them the MVP at the end of the game because, it was just at one point, I think in the first half, it was 27 yards of offense, and it wasn't even really that close. They never really got anywhere close to the end zone until the very end of the ball game. We got a lot of good work out of a lot of folks, and really good to see Wesley Tapp get out there and throw the ball around a little bit. A couple of touchdowns, and so hopefully things will be moving up from there.
That was going to be my next question. Let's talk about Wesley Tapp coming back on. Got some run and looked good. Looked a little bit rusty. There were some passes that were off a little bit, but for the most part, didn't really miss a beat. I still think Ryder Cook's going to have a role in this offense moving forward, and we saw some of that on Friday night as well.
Yeah, I think it's funny. You always hear the term, the phrase, if you've got 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. But man, that couldn't be more wrong about what's going on right now. I mean, what a luxury and a benefit now, the way things have worked out with Wesley being able to come back so quickly, which is super impressive. Now you have the opportunity to get him worked back in, and then if you're a defense, you have to prepare for that big arm. Well, then they trot out Ryder Cook on 4th and long, and he takes off running the ball and picks up a key first down early in that game. I mean, you don't know what to prepare for anymore now. And so this is the way it's worked out is just kind of the best way it could have possibly worked out. And now these next 3 games and into the playoffs, I think you'll see both of them quite a bit. I don't know that we're going to just lock in with one for the rest of the way, because both of them bring something unique to the table that can really help this offense. And it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I liked his presence in the pocket, to be honest with you. I mean, I think he was 5 for 15, but with a couple of touchdowns. So he was able to get that part of it done, but he looked good throwing the ball. He didn't look like he was worried about anything. Of course, he never has. He's very chill kind of guy when you watch him. But boy, 6'5" or whatever he is in the pocket, that it's a difference. And so his touch on the ball, it's going to work out. It'll be a little bit better. Hopefully we'll see him again this week. We'll see a little bit more of him. And then by the time we get to Little Rock Christian next week, we can go either way or both. And so I think it does set us up for a little bit of an advantage going forward. It's going to be good to have 2 quarterbacks with the kinds of teams we're playing.
And speaking of the situation with the touch, he's not even played 2 full games, right? Because of the way the injury occurred against Bentonville and spot time here. that's early in the season for him. So that's going to come. It'll come quickly, and it will not be an issue moving forward. Tonight's opponent is Pulaski Academy, and they're an interesting bunch. They're going to throw the ball around a lot, but they are coming into the game off of a loss. They got beat by Cabot last week, and it'll be interesting to see Anthony Lucas's team on the John McConnell Stadium field tonight, guys.
Yeah, that Cabot loss. I mean, we had that game up and we were watching it almost as much as we were watching our game late in the second half. But that was interesting. It's kind of changed the dynamics of the 7A Central. You know, that 3-4 spot now it looks a lot different than maybe we thought it was going to look. So this is a huge game for PA. Obviously, every game is a huge game for us the rest of the way if we're going to try and get into a position to have a first round bye. But what I've noticed just watching them on film and just looking at their two deep and their roster is they are so much younger than they've been in a long, long time. I mean, you look across the two deep and it's as starters, it's sophomore. It's crazy. It doesn't look like the typical senior-laden PA team that you would expect in years past. So they're very young. They're figuring some things out. You know, weather could be a factor this Friday night. The things that they like to do could, with onside kicks, I mean, that could be problematic. Onside kicks in the rain. I mean, come on. So 2-5 is their record. They played a lot of their hard games early in conference. So you just don't know really, like, what does that 2-5 mean overall? I think they're still PA. They still do PA things well, and that's what's always going to keep them in games. And so I think it's going to be exciting. We went there last year. That was a cool experience being at their stadium. They're coming here. Man, I expect big nights for your Conway offense. Trey Harris, Amari Davis, I think they could run wild again. I'm hoping for big things for them.
PA is just going to be PA. They are a different team than anybody else on your schedule. Levi mentioned they do some strange things that you only have to prepare for once. Nobody else is going to do those things, but they're very well coached. They are young. They had Bryant. It was 14-6 Bryant in the first half. That's how the first half ended. Now Bryant rolled on at the second half, as Bryant will sometimes want to do, but they hung with Bryant for a half. And so do I think we have more talent than they do? Yes, I think we're a more talented team. I think hopefully at the end we see what happens with Bryant, that we at the end we're kind of laying and using our size, our strength, and our experience to our advantage. But they're going to be a tough out. This is a team that could beat you if you're not careful and if you're not watching. This is kind of a trap game. If you ask me what the trap game is for the entire season, it's this one, because we know Little Rock Christian is very good, and that'll be, if we take care of business tonight, we're set up to figure out who's going to be 1-2 and 1, 2, and 3 at the end of the season. This is a game you've got to be prepared for. You got to be careful because they're going to do some strange stuff. You've got to be ready to go.